Opinion 3 years later, Sweden still talking trash about Rio Olympic win over US women. Le Havre, France. 3 years later and Sweden is still talking trash. The US women no longer have a mental edge. The defense won, all because of a game at the Rio Olympics in 2016. That was decided on. Players and coaches are not focused on what was, we're focused on what will be, US coach Jill Ellis insisted Wednesday, a day before the teams meet again in the Group F finale. That's really where the past is irrelevant. It's the game in front. Yeah, good luck with that. The US-Sweden rivalry was already intense because the teams have played each other so often in big tournaments. This is the 5th time, but when Sweden beat the US women in the quarterfinals in Rio, it added a level of saltiness that hadn't existed. The loss was it also was Sweden's 4th win in 9 games against the US, a stretch of dominance few other teams have managed against the 3-time World Cup champions. So no, Sweden is not going to let that one go. The US beat Sweden the next time the teams played, a friendly in Sweden in 2017. But it saw an over. Both teams have already advanced to the knockout rounds, with who wins the group and likely gets France in the quarterfinals. The only thing left to be decided. For the last several days, Swedish reporters have appeared at the US media availabilities, relaying what could be taken as slights from Sweden's players and asking for a reaction. Veteran goalkeeper, and at Wednesday's pre-match news conferences, Ellis was asked which of Sweden's players would be good enough to make her starting roster. She declined to answer. Lindahl, meanwhile, said she thinks the US is gunning for Sweden and already looking past them. It's the first time since the Olympics that we meet in this kind of setting, so I do think they want to put us in our place, Lindahl said. At the same time, in reality, it probably depends on the Americans. Some, like 4 others, however, this game has been circled on their calendar since the draw in December. I am so looking forward to seeing Sweden, veteran defender Becky Sauerbrunn said last month. You just have that back. For us, it's do you work that extra bit harder? Do you watch a little bit? The Americans took similar motivation from their loss to Japan in the 2011 World Cup. You also on penalties you rode it to a 3rd consecutive Olympic gold medal in 2012 and, then, their 3rd World Cup title 4 years ago in Canada. But it's not so much obsessing about a particular team as it is holding on to the feeling left by the loss to said team. You don't forget the taste in your mouth when you fail and when you lose in a world championship, press said. Apparently Sweden doesn't forget it, either. Follow USA Today sports columnist Nancy Armour on Twitter. This article originally appeared on USA Today. Related slideshow Best of Women's World Cup provided by Iman.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.